So you've got 2 weeks in Thailand, but you're facing the same dilemma that we all do when it comes to trips. How do we see as much as we can while still enjoying everything and without missing any of the hidden stuff that's hard to find in those couple weeks? What would I do if I had 2 weeks in Thailand? Knowing what I know now, would I avoid places that most people would go to? How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well. So there is no shortage of videos out there giving you an itinerary for your time in Thailand. Yes, that is true, but I wanted to go through and think about it a little bit. Knowing what I know now, how would I plan a 2-week trip here? And that's what we're gonna do today. So do make sure you stick it out through the whole video because I think there'll be some surprises. Now, a couple clarifications before we get into anything. If you are looking for a budget-friendly way to see a lot in Thailand, this is not necessarily that list, I don't think. This is just assuming that you have plenty of money set aside for everything that you want to do. You're not worried about essentially flying everywhere as opposed to taking trains or anything, but we'll get into a bit of that. This is made under the assumption that you are absolutely cool with flying and essentially no rest days. So let's get into it. So first place, it's pretty safe to assume that most people coming into Thailand from another country, you're going to land in Bangkok. So it only makes sense if that is our first stop. I recommend spending 3 days in Bangkok. One thing you will notice throughout this list is these time frames in these places are not necessarily to say that you can do everything there is to do in that time frame. But also remember, we got 2 weeks, we're on the move. So with that said, I recommend 3 days in Bangkok. You will see all the river cruises and everything at night, the dinner cruises where you get to cruise down the river. Those are cool. You're gonna pay a bit of a premium for some of those, you know, as far as when it comes to Thailand experiences. But if it is in your budget to do that, especially at one of those sunset times, absolutely do recommend. Now, another thing that is plenty common in Bangkok, if you want to do some shopping, if you're one of those people that goes on vacation, you like to ball out, I get it. I have a tendency to do that as well. Plenty of options that happen in Bangkok. There are all types of beautiful outdoor places. You can rent a bike, you can cruise. It's a great way to kind of check out the area. I highly recommend doing that as well. Now that we spent 3 days in Bangkok, we'll hop a flight and we'll go up to the north of Thailand. There's all types of fun outdoor stuff to do. You can explore the mountains. One caveat when it comes to Chiang Mai or Chiang Rai, personally, that would be depending on what time of year you're looking at to take your trip. If you're gonna be coming during the burning season when everybody is burning after their rice harvest, I recommend waiting a little bit. I would recommend ideally to not go during that time of year just because the air quality is pretty rough. This is also an amazing place if you're a motorcycle person, you wanna do a little motorcycle tour. Chiang Mai is a great place to kind of be your home base. So up in the north, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, I would suggest 3 days. This is a good time period to get a lay of the land. You can see quite a bit in that amount of time. So after 2 days, we are hopping another flight. You can't come to Thailand without going to the beach, right? Thailand is notoriously beautiful when it comes to islands, beaches, you name it. So we're gonna hop a flight. We're gonna go down to Trat province. So this is gonna be a small airport. You can also do this from Pattaya or even Bangkok, but if you do decide to land in those places and then take the train down to where we're going or take a taxi, it's essentially just gonna burn a half a day. So ideally, fly into Trat province because we are going to my personal favorite island in Thailand, Koh Chang. So one of the main things that I love about Koh Chang compared to a lot of other islands, just like all the other islands, essentially, it's got beautiful beaches, beautiful food, all the fresh seafood you could ever eat. The reason I like Koh Chang is because I feel like it is the perfect balance of having all the infrastructure you could want. Like there's all different types of restaurants, usually plenty of options when it comes to hotels, but also kind of getting away from the huge crowds that we will most likely see a little bit later in our list. If you are a person that likes to, you know, have some more space to yourself, but still want to be able to hang out on the beach, not have to deal with a crazy amount of traffic, Koh Chang is awesome. And I mean, if you want to get really wild, there's multiple islands right there in that chain. You could spend a night here, a night there. One thing to know, if you are headed to Koh Chang, if you are riding a bike, the roads are pretty intense. They get really, really steep in spots and like switchbacks and stuff. One specific section, pretty much every time I went through there, last time I was there was some tourists that had dropped their bike. You're not going very fast or anything like that, but it's hard turning real sharp and there's cars coming. It's pretty intense. So that's one thing to note if you want to get a bike while you're there. All right, so after 2 days in Koh Chang, we're gonna hop another flight. We're gonna fly down to Krabi. Personally, when we go to Krabi, we stay in Ao Nang. I really like it there. It's another one of those places where, depending on the time of year, the whole Krabi area, it's definitely not a secret. I'm sure you've probably seen it on some other lists. But especially if you go in the rainy season, which both times I've been there, it was, and we still had quite a few sunny days. It's still a really good balance for the most part of plenty of infrastructure, but there are places to get away from the crowd. There's tons of different islands right there. Like I said, these are not a secret. You're not gonna be on these beaches by yourself, but even with the crowds, I personally feel like it's 100% worth checking out. Now, with there being so many islands, yes, quite a few of them are very popular, but there are some that are still pretty low key. So ideally, if you hire a private boat, they'll take you wherever you want to go for the day. So next time I go, that's probably what I'll be doing. But even some of the tours and stuff, we've done them. You know, it's all perfect for a day trip. You do get to chill on the beach. The islands are beautiful regardless of how many people are there. So 100% still worth checking out. Okay, so after 2 days in Krabi, this is where our list gets pretty flexible. I kind of made mine assuming that you're gonna wanna spend more time at the beach. I know probably for the vast majority of people coming to Thailand, that's what you're gonna be interested in. So after 2 days in Krabi, we're gonna hop over to Koh Yao Noi. Now in this whole area where you already are in Krabi, there are tons of islands, Samui, Koh Phangan, Koh Phi Phi, all those, and you can stay on all those if you are looking for like a little more hustle and bustle. But if you are looking for a little bit more of that chill, kind of away from the massive crowds vibe, I highly suggest Koh Yao Noi. Now, don't get me wrong, this island is not a secret by any means, but at least when it comes to me, usually when I'm traveling with people, ideally I wanna go to places that have pretty decent infrastructure just to make sure everybody's comfortable. I'll stay wherever. I'll sleep on a beach. I'll sleep in a hammock, but I know a lot of people aren't really on that vibe specifically. So Koh Yao Noi, 2 days, I think is perfect. There's a few great viewpoints if you wanna get some sunset photos, especially if you like to hang out in the water, crazy snorkeling, crazy kayaking, paddle boarding. If you like to dive, this is absolutely the place to be. If you have made it this far in the video, I can tell you're serious about your Thailand itinerary, and I commend you for that. At this point in the list, after our 2 days in Koh Yao Noi, I've kind of split the list in two, giving you two options, deciding on what exactly you're looking for, or broadly looking for, I guess, from your Thailand experience. That way, ideally, you've had almost 2 weeks here already. You're feeling good, you're feeling comfortable. So these last two options are the perfect way to send it home before you gotta send it home. Now, our first option, if you're coming to Thailand looking for that, you know, real Thailand experience, I know what everybody says that, and it can be hard to really get that in 2 weeks. But if you're looking, you wanna come, you wanna see what's different about life in Thailand compared to where you're coming from. You wanna see how the other half lives outside the big cities. If that is your case, I highly suggest you catch a flight up to Isan. Lots of farmland, very low key. There's still foreigners out there, but you're not gonna see them nearly as much. If you're looking to see what life is like for a huge amount of people that live in the country, that is a great place to go. Great food, and of course it can help you get some insight into more history of the country. Now, option B, if you're looking more for the, you know, sitting under the umbrella, drinking a cocktail type of vibe, you are already in the perfect place. Like we mentioned earlier, there is no shortage of amazing islands to check out where you are. So if you're looking for cozy little beaches, if you're looking to just catch a tan, drink some more drinks, chill by the beach, do a little scuba diving, do a little snorkeling, swimming, whatever it may be, you're already in the best spot. And the thing about it is I didn't want to really put this day to day, because this, I feel like, gives you the option. If you're in a place, you're really enjoying it, you're saying, hey, I want to stay here another day. Totally understandable. You can adjust this, man. Keep a day here, take a day there, you know, whatever you want to do. Hopefully this kind of sets you on your path if you're looking for what exactly you want to do. And of course, if you have any questions, if anybody has any other suggestions, places that they think shouldn't be on this list or places that they think should, feel free to drop those down in the comments below. If you did make it this far in the video, thank you so much for hanging out. And just real quick, I want to give a huge shout out to all of you that have been following all the videos this month. We are about halfway through November. It doesn't feel like that for me, but you know, what can you do? So thank you for being here. I hope you have a great day.